Hello and welcome to Flippin' Fantastic. I think we're on episode 76. I never remember to say the episode. I'm O87 official.
And I'm Amy, Beach by Repeat. Hey guys, welcome back.
Hello. Hope everybody had a good week.
Yeah.
Made some sales.
Yes.
And got some good stuff. I hope everybody did that.
I'm sure.
How about you? Did
Yeah.
you get anything good this week? Sell anything good?
Yeah, I sold stuff. I can't think of anything like remarkable. Like I have stuff here. Like I've sold like some clothes. I'm trying to get some of my clothes liquidated, I guess you could say. Get some of them out of here. And then I sold some like plush, some brass. I sold a lot of brass, but I also have a lot of brass. I think I have like over 50 pieces of brass in my store.
Nice.
You know how I think I was talking about it last week. You know how I said I had that brass huge pendant light that I had been holding on to for like a year because I was like,
yeah, the one you sold. Yeah, we showed it. Yeah.
Yeah. It was one of those things that I was like, oh my God, this is so big. I just don't know what to do with it. So I listed it.
Yeah.
I had a Wii too that I was just like, I don't want to deal with it anymore. So I listed it and it sold the next day. And I was holding on to that for a year. So
wait, what is it? A Wii?
Wii? Mm-hmm, a Nintendo Wii. I sold that overnight for $61.99. That sold.
Nice.
That's fantastic. And then some.
I have this.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say I have one too. My parents had it. My son used to play it. It's like a Wii U though. It's one.
Oh.
I don't think it's. But I haven't. I haven't
tested it or anything.
I haven't listed it yet.
Oh, well, it'll sell.
Yeah.
Price it right. I bundled this up with like a bunch of games and the attachments so you can like play golf and tennis and stuff like that.
Right.
It had Wii Sports and stuff like that. And then I sold these folders I found at the Goodwill auction. It was a lot of 5 folders and they said like peachy or something like that, like PEECHEE. I don't know. They're like these manila folders with like basketball and stuff on them. There was 5 of them. I sold them for like either 37 or 31 plus shipping.
Are they vintage?
Yeah,
like
they're from the 90s. They're I sold them for $37.88 plus shipping. All 5 of them.
Nice.
I know. Let me see. I don't know.
You know, they don't. Can
you see it? A little bit? Nah,
not
really. But yeah, but they're cool. They're in great shape. And they're from the 80s. So I was stoked on that.
It's funny you said that because, well, I mean, he's in high school now and they use computers and everything. But I remember when my son was little and I was like, oh, let's go buy some, they were like, have folders. And then like when he got a little bit older in elementary school, they want like a red folder for Matt. Like no fun folders.
Right.
Like, like we always had, those Mead folders that had like, oh, what's the ones? I've seen them and they go for a decent amount of money. Critter sitters. They were like fuzzy little animals, personified animals like a panda and a koala and everything. I remember having those. I remember having like, Garfield and
yeah, I remember those.
Stuff like that.
And I'm Lisa Frank ones too. Do you remember those?
Yeah.
Yeah. And the Trapper Keepers. You remember Trapper Keepers?
Oh yeah, I'm old enough that I was like in middle school when they first came out.
I did.
I had one though.
I remember the Velcro. You know, that big old.
Yep. Drive. When I became a teacher, I'm like, now I know why Trapper Keepers. They'd be like, stop. Although I'm trying to think, like I wasn't a kid when they first came out because they came out in the 70s, but we had them like by, you didn't have them when you were little. You had them by like middle school. You'd have a Trapper Keeper. And I think we had Velcro, but some of the really old ones have a snap.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Wow.
before Velcro. Before they put Velcro on them.
Huh.
Which the teachers probably liked way better than the Velcro.
Right.
Rip.
Sure. Oh my gosh. Everybody getting their homework out.
Yeah, Trapper Keeper, an old Trapper Keeper, that's like a holy grail. Like, I would love to find one.
I remember having one that was like black and purple, but it was like a neon purple. Like the writing or something was a neon. I don't know. That's what I remember from my. I think it was elementary school though that I had one. I don't remember. I don't know. That's all I remember is the black and like the neon. And I'd have thought it was so cool.
Yeah. I can't remember what mine was. I can't remember.
Fuzzy
but I had those. I had Garfield stuff. Speaking of Garfield stuff, I found a Garfield, like, I wouldn't say it's not a beach. I wouldn't say it's a beach towel. I don't have it up here. I found a Garfield towel. I forget what he's doing on it.
You think it's a small
not that
towel?
big,
like
though.
It's a pool towel.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
It's not as big as like a beach towel, but I don't know. Like, were beach towels that big back in the day? I can't remember.
They might have just been big pool because we were little, you know?
Yeah.
Is it vintage?
Yeah. It's a little bit faded, but I got it anyway because it was only $1.
Yeah. Those are
so
cool.
my one favorite estate sale company had, so that's where I went out this weekend. I went to that estate sale. So I went the first day. Oh, you know what I got? And I'm going to keep it. It's not super old, but you know those Costco, not to be confused with Costco. No T. Yeah. It's like a chair stool, like kitchen, like people had them back in the day. You know what I mean?
Like fold over?
Like it's a chair. It's like a small chair, but then you pull out like step stool thing.
Oh, so like a transformer?
Transformer chair.
Yeah.
It's I found one of those, and it was funny because for whatever reason, my mom and I were talking about them, and I was like, "Oh yeah," like I was like, "They sell for a pretty penny, especially vintage ones." This one isn't really vintage. I mean, I don't know how old it is, but I mean, I guess it's not old at all. But I only got it for $8, and I'm looking. They're like $90 to $100, so. I was like, oh, I'm going to keep it because I have like red in my kitchen, so I might keep it.
So is it wood or metal?
No, it's metal.
Oh, okay.
And like vinyl.
Oh, okay. I was thinking of those wooden ones that have like a cotter pin, and they like you can flip it, and it turns into a chair or a stool or a ladder or something. All three of those. I don't know. I was thinking of that. I've seen those
here
before.
It is.
Yeah. I've seen those. Costco. Yeah, those are cool.
Yeah.
And the steps fold in or slide in or something?
Yeah, they slide in and out. And it's like brand new. So I mean, I could probably still, I could still sell it, but I'm just going to keep it. It's not an old one. The old ones sell for a lot more, but
yeah, but it's still cool, that good retro vibe.
Yeah. And I'm trying to think what else was there. I told you, I've been under the weather, so my brain is not working. But it's not working anyway.
You're so silly.
I didn't spend a lot of money. I got some. Oh, I got some like Penn State stuff. I talked to the guy that checks out. He's not the guy that runs the tag sale, but he like works for him. And he's an older guy. And this was actually his brother's house. So, and there were apples everywhere. I don't know, somebody must have been a teacher or just liked apples. I don't know. There was apple stuff everywhere. And there was a lot of Penn State stuff. He said his brother was just a fan. He just liked sports, and but
picked up some of.
Yeah,
Did you pick
that
up
was my
some of
weekend.
that?
That was it. What?
Did you buy some of the Penn State stuff? Like, was it older?
Yeah, I got a couple of things. Yeah,
like pennants and
I got this
stuff
weird
like that.
Like, yeah, it's like a knit hat. Has like the little brim. I don't know what you call them.
Okay,
and it has it's got a pom pom on it.
That's cool.
I was like, so my husband went to Penn State, and we had been talking about going up there to see a football game. Take my son, because we went up before we had him. We went a bunch of times to like homecoming and stuff.
Yeah,
and I was like, oh, maybe I'll wear it. But I have a giant head. I don't know if it'll fit. It'll fit on my head. He was like, that was my brother's. I don't think he ever wore it. It's like he'd have been looking smart with that on. But
you can wear it and then, have like a for sale sign hanging off of it.
Was that Minnie Pearl? Do you know who she is?
I know the name, but I don't know who it is.
You're younger than me. She was she was on like Hee Haw or whatever that show was back in the day. She would wear a hat and it always had the price tag hanging down. That was her thing. She was like a comedian, like singer or something.
Oh, I do. I know. I mean, I know who you're talking about when you said that character.
Like she had like a straw hat on with the price tag.
That's who Minnie Pearl is? I had no idea.
Yeah.
No idea. I would hear it in songs. I think Minnie Pearl? Is that where I heard that name? I don't know. Probably. That's cool.
I'm dating myself. The only person who's going to know what I'm talking about is Kevin.
No. Oh.
Commonwealth Picker. He's the only other person that's going to know. I hope you're listening, Kevin. Shout out.
Kevin's only going to know because he's an old soul. He's not really
because he's older
old.
than me. Well,
no, he's like
not. He's not really older than me, but he's older than me. No, I'm just kidding.
In spirit, he is.
Yeah.
He's an old soul. He really is. Like when he posts, sorry, Kevin, but when he posts like stuff on Instagram and the songs and stuff that he picks, I'm like, Kevin, wow, what generation were you born in?
For real.
Oh, it's just funny. He's an old soul.
Also would think that he's lived in, when he's like, I'm from California. And you're like, no, you're from Appalachia. What the songs you're picking. Like, you can't convince me otherwise. You can wear all the bands on your, like a surfer on your wrist that you want.
Oh, poor Kevin.
Just kidding. We love you.
We do. We do.
But he truly is like if anybody, he would know. Maybe also Brian, Big and Fun.
But yeah.
He and I are the same age, so that's that's why I know he'll know.
Oh my gosh. I do remember Hee Haw being on TV. I don't know if it was like if it was a rerun though. I don't know. Like
probably.
I have no idea. Unless I was just like
little, I think
little,
Yeah, I was little. And so I remember it enough to remember it, but I couldn't tell you like certain things about it. You know what I mean?
I do remember, which I loved when I was little. Like I think this was like one of the first memories I have of TV was The Muppet Show. Because it used to come on. Yeah. It used to come on at like past my bedtime. So if if there was no school or something, I was allowed to stay up. So yeah, I can remember. I loved The Muppet Show. Like
I loved it too. It was the best.
Yeah, the best. Loved it so much. And Fraggle Rock. Did you watch Fraggle Rock when you were little? Well,
oh yeah,
I didn't. Yeah. Oh, that was the best. Loved it.
Sunday nights, we'd be like out, we'd be playing or whatever. You'd have to go get your bath or your shower or whatever. Fraggle Rock's on, and we'd say, "This is bad." I was just, what was I listening to? I think I was listening to a podcast. Anyway, they were like, back in the day when you had to watch what everybody else watched in your house because you had one TV, you know, and there wasn't a million channels.
Yeah, but
and everybody had to watch something.
And they were saying they would have to watch Fraggle Rock.
No, they were just saying, like, because my whole family would sit down and watch, you know what, my sisters, my dad, we'd all sit down and watch it.
Yeah, because that was on HBO.
Maybe my mom, I don't know.
You know, because I remember some of my friends didn't have HBO, and they would be like, "Oh, I want to come watch Fraggle Rock." Wasn't it on HBO? You had to have cable, like we had
cable. Yeah,
I don't know if it was like premium cable or I don't even know how the cable worked back then. Yeah, crazy.
Yep, we had it.
Oh, amazing! Oh, amazing! Oh, amazing. Oh, so I went out this weekend. Although it started raining as soon as we left Saturday morning, it started raining. It started drizzling. So I was kind of bummed. But we did go to, it said, and there was like an estate sale. Well, it was in the yard sale app, but it was an estate sale basically. And it said rain or shine. So we were like, we're going. So we went there.
Right.
And I found some Mr. Christmas because I love Christmas stuff. I love finding Christmas. Yeah. It's one of those one of those carousels. It's like, you know, this big, you know, it's pretty big. And it's this tall and you plug it in and, you know, it spins around and the horses go up and down and it plays like, you know, 114 different Christmas songs and it's nice. And it was in the box. It wasn't new, but it still had the original box. So I got that. I paid $10 for that, which is great. $10. It's great. And it works.
That's awesome.
I'm so stoked.
And it's nice. Did it like, cause Mr. Christmas, there goes sorry, I'm beeping. This is a stupid play.
I hear it.
Yeah. It's just, it won't sit tight. So anyway, Mr. Christmas, like, does it have like the styrofoam and everything, the packing?
It has the, it didn't have styrofoam packing. It has the cardboard packing. You know, the molded, the molded one. Yeah. So it had both of those pieces. So
that's awesome. That's why people keep the boxes for that kind of stuff. Cause it, you know.
Yeah. And it still has the instructions and stuff like that. So.
Oh, nice.
I was stoked on that. And then what else did we get? Oh, we got these little like South American pottery figures. You can tell they're handmade. Well, yeah, it's pottery. But it's a nativity. It's not a complete set, but it's like,
oh, nice.
No, it has Jesus, Mary, the three wise men, like sheep and I don't know, sheep and like a donkey maybe. It's missing Joseph. So I was kind of bummed by that.
Right.
And then what else did we get? Oh, I got a Jemmy. It's a skeleton dressed as a pirate. And, you know, he sings and dances and he like sings and then his head drops like this. It's kind of funny.
Nice. Yeah, oh, that'll sell quick, I'm sure.
Well, it went
Go ahead. Sorry.
I asked, apparently the guy that was working there, he was probably like, I don't want anything to do with this. He was probably just there to like move stuff. Cause I said, oh, how much is this? And he's like $5. And I was like, oh, I'm going to pass on $5.
Yeah.
And then, some lady was like, no, not $5. How about $3? And I was like, oh, well, let me see if the battery is corroded. The battery compartment is corroded.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And she's like, oh, okay. So she got a screwdriver out and she opened it and there was a little corrosion in there. And I was like, oh, I'm going to pass since I don't know if it works. And she's like, okay. And then some other lady was like, don't you want anything else? Well, you know, when I was checking out, well, whatever. She's like, don't you want anything else when I was checking out? And I was like, well, I'd get that pirate guy, if he was $1 just to take a chance. And she's like, sold. So it went from $5 to $1. and it worked.
Sweet.
I just had to like do a little, good. I did a little cleaning of the battery.
Right.
Part. It's just like, you know how the springs get rusted like a little bit?
Yeah. As long as they're still there, usually it's fine.
Yeah. So
you can clean off the corrosion.
Mm-hmm. So I bought a bunch of that stuff and some like mid-century modern like art. It was like kitchen art. It was like on wood. You know those Intarsia art wood pieces. Yeah, it was like handmade, and it's like fruit and fruit baskets and stuff like that. I paid $5.
Yes.
I paid $5 for a lot of 3. So I was stoked on that too. And what else?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And then Matt finds 2 shoe boxes filled of maps and wants them.
Ooh.
Maps, tons of maps.
I love that.
Well, that's what I was like. They were like $3. So we got all these maps. And the only reason I got them is that, you know, just like you were like, ooh, maps. I was like, oh, somebody must collect these because they collected them. But I thought I could put them on Kevin's commons.net.
Oh, yeah.
We could talk about that later, but I thought I could put them there because there's tons of them. There's like 30.
I've sold a lot of maps. I don't think I have any in my store at the moment, but I've sold tons. Really? I've bought them, and I take a picture of front and back. That's a quick. I'd say those are at least a quick $10. Like, I don't even open them. Front, back.
For just one?
That's it. There you go.
No way.
And you know what else? You know what else I've sold? You know, you go to the state parks and you get their little brochure map things.
Yeah.
Like not a state park, but a national park.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
Sold those too.
Well, there's some of those in here too.
Mm-hmm.
These are
especially if they're older, like you know what I mean, like not this year's, like
yeah.
Like I sold some from the 90s.
Oh my gosh! Well, I paid $3 and I got a ton of them. Yeah, we have some state park things. Like here's look, Roanoke Valley. That's probably right up Kevin's alley. You know?
Yeah.
Virginia. Yeah, there's a bunch of them. Tons of them.
They're easy. Those are the things that I like to list when I don't feel like listing anything else.
Mm-hmm. Huh. Like this one.
Because you could just sit in your chair and just go.
Yeah, I guess so. I had no idea. I didn't even think about it. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, here's a like what's this guy? I don't know. Oh, this is California. Oh my gosh. And when I was looking through this box, like culling it and getting rid of like garbage, I found do you remember when you could go to what's that place called? AAA? Like you could go and like plan your itinerary. I found one of those like little flip books that was like, oh, you want to go from, you know, DC to Virginia Beach, and this is the travel path, and it highlighted it, and then you flip the page.
Okay. Yeah.
I found one of those. I was like, oh my gosh, that's so nostalgic.
That's funny.
I know.
Remember when you had to like actually like write down directions, like
yes,
or MapQuest it?
Yes, MapQuest. That's what I was gonna say. MapQuest. I know. And you know what, Matt?
But yeah, those are cool.
I know. This is what Matt said. He's like, you don't need the internet when you have one of these in your car.
It's true.
It is.
When the zombie apocalypse happens, you might need those.
Exactly. I'm sure Matt would love to just pull this out and sit on the side of the road and
I can read a map too. I majored in geography in college.
Oh, you did?
I wanted to be a cartographer.
Oh, nice.
But it required more school after school, and I wasn't prepared to do more school at that moment. Like I didn't want to. I could have got like a government job for like, you know, less than 20 grand. I mean, this was 30 years ago, but you know, in Washington D.C. making like less than $20,000, like you couldn't live on that back then.
What would cartologists do now since cartographers, yeah. What would they do? I was thinking cardiologists. What do they do now? Do they just update stuff? Because you know the topography isn't changing too much.
Yeah, I mean it's just I don't know.
Is it for like
doing
like
stuff like that?
Civil
actually, I have
type things.
Yeah, I actually have a friend who lives in Virginia. She was a geography major, and she went and got her Geographic Info System, which is like, anyway, she works for a town in Virginia, and she's like I don't know if she's like, I can't remember what they make maps for all kinds of things, and
like the boundaries for like properties and stuff like that.
That kind of stuff,
Gotcha.
All kinds of things. City planning. My uncle did city planning.
Gotcha. Yeah, I wasn't thinking of that.
Yeah.
I was thinking of just like landscape, like, oh, we've got this new formation of mountains over here. That's cool. That sounds fun. That was like geography. Well, no, geology and oceanography were my favorite in college. I
like geology too.
I was obsessed with it. Like, it was one of those subjects where it just like clicked that I understood it, like it was just like, oh, this makes sense. Like, I don't know. I can't explain it, but I loved it.
I love geology. And when I taught 6th grade, we did a little, at 6th grade level, but I taught it. It was, the thing is though, here's the thing. Delaware's mostly flat.
Oh.
And we barely have any rocks. So when I would teach it and kids would early on, the kids the later it got, the worse my kids got, and they didn't care anymore. But early on when I was teaching and we'd get into it and they'd be like, look at this rock I found. And all it is a piece of pavement. And I'd be like, oh, that's so cool.
I thought you were going to say they brought in a lump of clay or something because it was hard.
Well, I mean, basically, yeah. It's like a piece of pavement because we don't have any. Delaware's like mostly just coastal plain, like where I am, like up north.
Yeah,
and we're starting to get like some rocks. There's some rocks up in Pennsylvania, but you can't go rock hunting in Delaware.
Right?
It doesn't.
Yeah,
it doesn't work.
Yeah, you can go, but shell hunting here. That's about it. Shell.
Yeah, we get that. Shells. You can. I found fossils. You can find fossils here sometimes too. The canal, the Chesapeake Delaware Canal. Especially after they dredge it, they dredge it every once in a while, and you'll find some fossils, but that's about it.
Fossils?
Yeah, but we don't have any.
What, fossils embedded in like rock or like?
It's not rock yet. It's like
dirt,
sandy, like it's not. It's like that pre-rock. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of hard, but not
like compressed dirt or something. Like, yeah, that's interesting. I've never,
like, another million or so years it will be a rock, but not now.
Exactly. That's interesting.
Not yet.
Wow.
Anyway,
That's so fun. Yeah,
learning with Mo and Amy.
The more you know. Oh my gosh!
But I didn't do any oceanography. That's cool though too.
Yeah.
They do. I went to University of Delaware, and they do have, like, down at the beach, they have a whole oceanography campus,
Yeah.
Because we get the sorry.
Oh no! You get what?
Oh, we Delaware Beach, down Delaware in the bay. We're one of the few places that gets this mass of. We get the horseshoe crabs when they mate. There's only like a few places that get them like we do, and so we're like one of them. So that's like a big thing here.
Yeah.
In the spring.
Yeah, I can remember finding. I told you I lifeguarded, and we would find them washed up. And that you would take their barbs and like flip them over and stuff like that, and see their little legs.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fun. Yeah, but it's all, oceanography and geology are so similar. Like, they all like, it's a crossover, because it's the shelf and stuff. But
yeah, like, you got to learn. You have to know some.
Yeah,
because
it's all connected.
Well, and the same with like cartography. Like, you kind of got to know, like you said, like the landscapes and the elevation, all that. So
Yeah, I know.
Stuff.
And when we left, that just because I was thinking of the landscape. When we left that estate sale, we went to another estate sale that's over, like, I don't know, in a different part of town. And oh my gosh, Mo, I mean, I'm not trying to be theatrical about it, but it was amazing. Like, I felt like I was in a different, like, location. We got to this estate sale and it was like, oh, come here and see, see the stuff. And we normally don't go to this company. So I was like, okay, let's go.
Right.
We knew the neighborhood was nice because we're looking for homes. So we knew, where this was. We go there and we have to park far or whatever. We start walking up this mature neighborhood with all these trees and stuff. And I'm not kidding. This boy, well, he's not a boy. He's probably a teenager. Well, he had to have been. But he pulls up in a tram and says, oh, do you want to ride to the estate sale? And there was already people in this tram. It was like it was probably more like an 8-person, 2, 4, 6, 8-person golf cart.
Like a golf cart, yeah.
Yeah. But, have you ever been to Busch Gardens? It was like those trams. So he's like, do you want to ride? And we were like, are you serious? And he's like, yeah. So we get in and and I said, oh my God, I feel like I'm going to Busch Gardens, which is an amusement park. If you guys don't know, you can take like a little tram, like this little trolley to the amusement park gate. And I said, oh, are you going to give us a history lesson too? And he said, well, actually I am. And he did. He took us down this long driveway, and he was like, the house, well, not the house. He said the property was purchased for $30,000, which after I saw it, it had to have been like 80 years ago. He said they purchased it for $30,000. It has a horse stable. It has a house. It has a pool. It has a pool house. It has these it's on a point. So there's water on all 3 sides of this, this property, and a horse stable. I mean, it was like overgrown and stuff. And he said, I'm totally getting off track. He said they bought it for 30, the original owners, they built a house and all that stuff. And they just sold it for 2.7 million. And the people that bought it are tearing it down to build something new. Because when you got there and went inside the house,
is it a mess?
It wasn't a mess. It just was extremely dated.
Okay.
There was it just was dated. It's right on the water, and it was salt water too. So, it just all the years. Like, the pool was amazing. The pool house was amazing. I mean, I could just see the parties. I could just see growing up there, or like being a grandkid, going to visit your grandparents there. It just it was amazing. But when you go upstairs in this house, I think there was only one toilet upstairs, but it was one of those toilets where they had the tank up on the wall really high.
Oh yeah.
So it was one of those gravity fed ones. That's how old this house was, Mo. But the stuff was extremely expensive there. Like, we didn't buy anything. But
so basically they paid what? Like, what'd you say? How much how many million?
They paid the new people paid 2.7 million for the property.
So they paid for the land, basically.
Oh, yeah.
Now they've got to build a new house. And if you pay 2.7, you're not building a cozy little ranch. You're building a big old mansion.
And it was, oh my God, it was a big piece of property too. Like, it was big. It even had outdoor potting shed and outdoor things. Like, there was a garden, there was a rose garden, there was.
Did you guys buy it? Did you guys buy it?
No. But
that eBay money.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, this is when we were there, I was like, this is such a fantastic. I mean, I know 2.7 is a lot of money, but I was like, this is an amazing deal. Like, this person got it was like a steal. Although I know you're going to have to spend another 5 million probably to build it, but it was amazing. I felt like I was in a different, I felt like I was on vacation. Like, it was just amazing. Like, I took
wow.
I took video, for my channel, but as I was looking at the video and looking at it, it didn't do it justice. So I feel like it's just not going to translate well, but
Right.
it was amazing.
Did you buy anything there?
No, we didn't buy anything. It was it was really expensive. And the first place we went to was that outdoor pool house and stuff like that. And it was weathered. Like the building was weathered. They had it was like an open building, so like you could just walk in and go to the bathrooms. Like, you don't have to go through doors and stuff. But like paint was chipping and falling off stuff, like the artwork and stuff. And they wanted like $180 for like a piece of artwork that was literally deteriorating off the wall.
That's a shame.
Yeah. So imagine what the stuff inside. It was a lot. Like
Right.
a lot. They had like andirons, because I love buying like brass andirons. They were like I think they were like $200 for the andirons.
Wow.
So I passed, but it was amazing. Like
that's cool to go to though. Just look around.
It was. So it was fun. But then we went thrifting because it was, the weather was like iffy all weekend. So
I
don't know, but I was I was stoked, super stoked. I know. But
wow,
you were saying that you guys would go to the Delaware River and stuff and find the fossils. Is that what you said?
The Chesapeake Delaware Canal is like where you can find them because they dredge there. Like you have to go like kind of after they dredge and go into the spoil.
Is that like where Washington crossed?
Dig there.
No. Didn't he cross on the Delaware River?
This isn't the river though. It's just a waterway between Chesapeake and the bay.
Yeah.
He crossed up at Trenton on the Delaware River.
Okay. So
like between Pennsylvania and like near Trenton, New Jersey.
Oh, okay.
He's way up
there. So do you think that's where thing is? That thing was from?
Oh, his tent. Yeah. His army. His army did march right by where I live.
Oh, really?
They yeah. Yep. There was actually a little they're down at, you go out of my neighborhood and down the street, there's like some houses that are off the road, and they put up one of those, historic markers. And there was some little I can't remember again. Some little skirmish that they think happened here, or that they know happened here, like between some British and Americans. But yeah, he marched here before he went up to Brandywine, which isn't far from here in Pennsylvania, Chad's Ford. Battle of the Brandywine was here, so he marched through here. He cool. So some guy, where was it? In Norfolk. Where did he find it? Norfolk. He found a piece
which is the city right next to me, which is kind of funny.
Yeah. That is funny. He found a piece. I thought I had it open.
Oh no. We found an article online.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Now it's like, there it is. This is great show where I'm like, what? I have everything else open, but this one. Why'd you have to bring this one up, Amy?
Oh, it's my fault.
No, we had it from last week, so I had to scroll up. I didn't scroll up far enough to get it open.
No.
There it is.
But it's a Goodwill article, right?
Yeah. Piece of old cloth bought at Goodwill turned out to be, excuse me, part of George Washington's war tent. It's now on display at the Museum of the American Revolution in Philadelphia.
Yeah. I think that's super cool. But it made me, when you read the article, it made me think that they bought it at like Goodwill online, their e-commerce. just because he paid so much for it. He paid, what did he pay? Like $1,300 for it?
Yeah, I'm looking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, $1,300.
Yeah. So
yeah, it had like, it had no real proof, but
yeah,
that it was authentic. But I guess somebody wrote that it said something that it was.
Yeah, I guess
Yeah, he
they
bought
were
it online.
Yeah, I guess that was the provenance that they were keeping, you know. But that's cool. And then when it said, this is where my brain goes. When it was authenticated, I'm like, how did they authenticate it? Like, you know, how did do they have like photos of his tent somewhere and compared it to the tent? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how that works.
Let's see.
But I thought
It was
that was
piece
super cool.
of a dining marquee used. I don't know. They didn't say. Didn't say how it. It doesn't say.
Yeah, I don't know.
There it is.
I know, it's kind of cool. Yeah,
The note. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
The note that's attached. It said. It was a note that was attached with an old sewing pin that said, it was acquired in 1907 in Norfolk, Virginia, at the Jamestown 300th Anniversary Exposition.
Yeah.
And that's all that they had to go on. But maybe, I don't know, maybe they had, it doesn't say in here. Mm-hmm. Maybe they had documentation that they could. I mean, obviously they must have, because they put it in the museum.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, maybe they I don't know, do some kind of like testing to the fabric and stuff like that. I don't know. But yeah. It looks like from the picture, it's like a long rectangle. And it looks like maybe they like cut it up and gave it to, different people, like as a momentum or something. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah. Memento. That's something that, they would do back in the day, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, sometimes. I know. Yeah. Could you imagine? I know. Finding that and just taking that gamble, and it could have just been like your dad's old Coleman tent ripped up.
I know, right?
$1,300 on a scrap of old Coleman tent. Uh-huh.
I know. He took a chance, I guess. Oh, crazy.
I know.
we went a while, like not too long ago to, we went to Williamsburg, and we went to Jamestown, and why am I blanking on the third one? What's the other one down there?
Roanoke? I don't know. Is it historical? No.
Yeah. It was a battle there.
Gettysburg?
Why am I blanking?
I don't know.
Gettysburg's up there.
I don't know.
Oh my God. Anyway, at the one of the places, they had one of Washington's tents like set up, like you can walk. Like it's behind glass, but you walk under it. You know what I mean?
That's interesting. I don't know, because I live not that far away, like 45 minutes. Jamestown.
I'm telling you,
Williamsburg. Yorktown. I bet it was Yorktown.
Yorktown. Yeah.
Okay.
That's right.
Yeah.
That might have been where the tent was too. I think maybe the tent was in Yorktown.
There's
it was in Yorktown.
Yeah, there's military there too, like military, like Coast Guard, and I don't know if there's. I'm sure there's other stuff there, but I just know Coast Guard when I think of Yorktown. I know. Mm-hmm. That is cool though. Super cool.
So interesting. You could find a piece of history on Goodwill.com.
Maybe. Maybe. They're so they're like, what is it? Filtering through all the good stuff, apparently, and putting it on e-commerce. Yeah. And I went to Goodwill this weekend, and I was checking out, and I always, those frequent buyer cards that you can get like 4 stamps and then you get 20% off. Those cards that you can get. Well, I save them for when I have a big purchase, because you get more bang for your buck because it's 20% off. So I'd rather spend a lot and get more of a discount. So I have 3. Well, now I have 2. So I spent one this weekend because I paid up for stuff, and normally I don't pay up for stuff at Goodwill. So
Right.
the girl, I gave her my card and she said, "Oh, just to let you know, we're discontinuing the frequent shopper program July 31st." And I was like, "Oh my gosh. I just thought you've got to be kidding me." Not only did they raise the prices, I swear twice in the last year, because when I went, the prices had gone up again. At least at my local Goodwills, they've gone up.
Mm-hmm.
But I was so like bummed because like that's the whole purpose of it is to be it's for frequent shoppers, to like give you some incentive to
Right.
come back, to keep coming back.
Right.
So now they're discontinuing them. So now I have to go and shop and use my other 2 cards that I have left. So I'm bummed.
Now yours, this is what yours looks like. Hold on.
Yeah, I
Where
took a
am I?
picture of it too, of the
Yeah.
little sign. I was
Now-
in disbelief.
Now, we have cards, but we don't have. Yeah. Okay. We just have like a card. Do you know how like if you go to the grocery store, or do you know what I mean?
Like it looks like a credit card, like a plastic card.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what we have.
Oh,
Yeah.
ours are paper.
And I don't know. So maybe they're getting the credit card kind. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe because there's a picture of it on here. It's just the paper.
Right.
It's a paper card, and they put a stamp on it. But
Right.
it says, while we explore our new ways to reward shoppers for the support of Goodwill, we continue to honor these until July 31st. So your plastic
You gotta
cards,
get shopping.
yeah, or just whatever. So do your plastic cards have a? Does it keep track of something? Like, what is the deal? What does the plastic card do?
Okay. So I will tell you this. So it's not Delaware. Delaware doesn't have anything. Well, I should rephrase that. Delaware, the Goodwills around in Delaware are Delaware and Delaware County. Delaware County is in Pennsylvania. So that's the area of our Goodwills.
Mm-hmm.
So, and they don't have any. At least not in the last year. I don't.
Yeah.
Nobody's offered me anything. And they don't do like, they don't have like, or at least they didn't. I haven't, I'm going to be on, like, I haven't been to Goodwill since like last fall, probably, in Delaware.
Yeah.
Now, the other Goodwills that I go to that are near is the Keystone Goodwills. That's the other Pennsylvania Goodwills. And that's where the card is.
Oh, okay.
They also have a tags system where, like, this day is 20%. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like a color day.
Yeah. We have that too.
And then, and then they had the thing where with clothes, the color tag is
similar.
It goes down every day, and I want to say it's like Tuesday. It's like $2, right?
Oh, okay.
For that color of clothes. I can't remember exactly when, but I think that's what it is. But yeah. So I have a card. So I got this card a long time ago at the Pennsylvania Goodwill that's closest to my house. It's not far. And I'm like, what? They're like, you want to sign up? I was like, sure. So I did. They gave me a card. It's got a barcode on it. They scan it. I'm like, well, what does it do? They're like, we don't know yet.
Oh my gosh.
So I just kept scanning it. Or, you can put your phone number in, whatever. And then finally, about a year ago, they were like, okay, you get whatever, $5 off or something. I was like, okay, so it's finally. I still, to this day, I'm not sure how it works.
Oh goodness.
Huh. I am. Let me stop this. I don't know how you acquire the points. I should look it up. Every once in a while, I would look it up, and it still wouldn't be there.
That's interesting. Wonder if that's what they're gonna transition to. I had no idea. I thought all Goodwills, were the same. Like as far as they do the stamps and stuff like that. That's interesting.
No.
So if
ours isn't stamps, it's a card.
So if I had went out of town and busted out my card and said, "Can you stamp it?" They would have looked at me like, "What are you talking about?"
Yeah. And I mean, like, there is an overreaching Goodwill, like, like a
Like the parent company?
yeah, but there's like individual, like I said, like Delaware Goodwills aren't the same as Pennsylvania.
Yeah. Huh.
Well, at least most of Pennsylvania.
Interesting.
And I don't know about Maryland ones.
Yeah. And they're all the, how the prices are different too per region, Like I swear Josh, Harry Tornado, I swear like their t-shirts are like $1 or something like that. Or somebody's are $1. And I'm like, what? T-shirts are $4.99 at my Goodwill. And tank tops too.
Yeah, I'm not a big clothes shopper.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say they're probably at least $5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Which is why you gotta go like with the sale and look for
that color tag of the week or whatever.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That makes sense.
But like I said, Delaware doesn't have that. So at least not, I could be wrong. They could have changed it up. But we also have smaller Goodwills. Like our Goodwills are small. Like whereas I go to Pennsylvania, they're larger. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I
gotcha. That's because you guys are out there pulverizing glass and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They could do like they could do a lot of e-commerce stuff too, Yours.
Well, so the video you sent, that guy, where is he located, that video?
I don't know. I don't know who he is other than, his name and stuff. Like I didn't investigate where it was, but
yeah. I'm not sure where this is either. Anyway, he's I was watching the video you sent. It's his YouTube is Tice Baby, TYCE.
Yeah.
Okay. And he went to a Goodwill like donation center and talked to an employee about their e-commerce and how they pull best things for their e-commerce.
Yeah. Which was interesting.
But I check the Goodwill online here. I think I've said it before because I can pick it up. It's not far. Like I know where it is. I don't think they pick the best stuff. Some of it is like they will do, like, you're never gonna find like loose Legos at a Goodwill store in Delaware.
Right.
You're never gonna find jewelry at a Goodwill store in Delaware because they bulk it. They bulk it. If they find something good, they'll pull it out. They'll sell it on there, but they sell those things bulk on online.
Yeah.
And then sometimes they just have weird stuff. Like, I'm like, nobody's buying that.
Right. It is. It's interesting.
Oh, purses, high-end purses, same thing, and shoes.
Yeah.
You don't find those in Delaware because they are on their e-commerce.
Yeah. And it's funny because I go to the auction and sometimes some of the totes will have e-commerce stuff that didn't sell. You can tell by the tags.
Right.
It still has the tags on it and the rubber bands. And it's amazing to see the kind of stuff that they're putting on that didn't sell. And I think the same thing sometimes. Like, why did you guys put this on when I'm finding things in totes, that are good? But, you can't find everything, like.
Yeah, exactly.
It's crazy.
And I understand that, but like some of what they pick versus what they don't pick, I don't know. Like I understand the jewelry they're getting. The only thing that bugs me about it, and I have bought a few things off there, not anything lately. The thing that bugs me is they have, so I can go pick it up, shipping, so I don't pay the shipping.
Yeah.
But they put that stupid handling fee on there that you have to remember to add in.
Right.
Because you pay that no matter what. And sometimes it's high.
Yeah.
It must be based on the weight of the item. The bigger the thing, the more it is.
Interesting. Yeah. It's ours is our pickup is at the same place where our the auction is.
Your auction.
Yeah. So, but I haven't bought anything because I'm so cheap that
when you have that auction, I'd go there.
Yeah.
I wouldn't buy anything. I've only bought, like, it was during the,
the thing, the
kind
C
of
word.
toward the end of Rona that I bought. I was just like looking for stuff because stuff wasn't going on, and
Yeah.
and I bought a few things that I did make some money off of. Like,
Yeah.
I was very picky about it, but
Yeah.
there's not a lot on there.
I know. Somebody just told me that they shop on our local one all the time, and he said, "Oh, did you see that they have listed Lululemon recycle bag? Those reusable totes." He said that they had the Lululemon bags on there, and I said, "What?" And he's like, "Yeah, I think they were watching your video, because all of a sudden." Because I would always get them out of the totes, and they would give them to me if they were, they didn't want to deal with it. But now they have been hoarding them and listing them on their e-commerce site, which I kind of think
damn them.
It's like a catch-22 to, like, put videos out there of the things you find, because then they're like, oh, you like this? Oh, when we see it, we're going to hold it back for e-commerce. So
yeah,
I know. It's just
I bet they are.
Yeah, I just thought that was kind of funny that they were holding back the tote bags, But yeah,
they definitely saw that you were selling them.
Yeah, for sure. Oh my gosh, we have we got to do our female reseller.
I know. I looked. I was like, oh my god, it's an hour. We got to do our female reseller of the week.
Yes, for sure.
And it is Resell to Ride.
Yes. We have all kinds of stuff for her. I know.
I just got mine yesterday, Jess.
Yes.
Resell to Ride is Jess, and sometimes Xena.
Yes, we can't forget Xena.
Xena needs to quit her job and work full time with Jess, but this is the best one.
It is. It is. If you guys are listening on Spotify or something, it is Jess's head on the Rock's body, holding barbecue ribs from the grill, and a QR code for her link tree. I'm sure that's for her link tree. Yeah, but it's the best sticker.
I forgot to.
It's and she even put tattoos on the Rock of her riding her bike. And it says "Resell to Ride" across her belly.
She's got that.
Yes.
On there.
Yeah, it's the best. And she sent us coasters. It's just the best. I love it. Jess and Xena are the best. They do all kinds of stuff too. They are on, like, eBay and well, do they do Whatnot as much? But they do District, like,
I don't know. They were doing dibbed it on District. And they do, because Jess finds they find a lot of pop culture stuff.
Yes.
A lot. Well, they also have a vintage booth, right?
Yes.
There's a lot of stuff in there.
They have 2 booths. Two. Yeah, and 2. Or I don't know if one of their booths is 2 combined, but they have a
is it a double booth or is it 2 separate? I
can't remember.
But they sell a lot of ton of stuff.
Yeah. And now their new booth, I think that's starting like the beginning of August, is going to be all vintage clothes, I think she said.
Oh yeah. So go to Resell to Ride. One of her more recent videos is, I think it was a 2-parter, right? Was it 2-part?
Storage unit?
The storage unit.
Yeah, it was.
And that they found a ton of vintage clothes in there.
Yeah. Ton.
So, that storage unit was chock full of awesome stuff. So if you like that kind of thing, they storage units, they dumpster dive, they thrift, they go to, the
garage sales,
yard sales, and
all that stuff.
They're private picks, they get it all.
They do.
Yeah.
It's awesome. They're growing. They're growing their channel too. I think she
For
just
sure.
hit.
Yep.
What did she just hit? She hit some like 2,000 or 3,000. I don't know. I think it was. I feel like it was 2,000 subscribers or 3,000. I can't remember. It was one of those like little milestone ones, you know.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that's awesome.
Yep.
So you
So
guys
check
go
them
subscribe
out.
to her. I know.
Yes.
Jess and Xena. They're the best. They are totally the best. I know. We almost forgot our reseller of the week. It just flew by.
I know. I looked down and we were still talking. And I was like, I know she's thinking the same thing. Oh my God. All right.
It's because we were talking about these maps so much.
We had our little learning corner.
Yes.
You got some geography. You got some geology, oceanography.
Inflation because of that estate sale that went from 30,000 to 2.7 million. I mean,
yep.
We've got it all. We've got it all.
We have it all. We have it all.
Well, with that, I guess we're flipping out, right?